Live from downtown Detroit. Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Lost in the fire. Resort towns reduced to rubble in one of America's most popular tourist destinations, but help could soon be on the way.
If we don't get it.
It's called the Fight for 15, the pursuit to get the $15 an hour minimum wage for all Americans. Nationwide protest today. This is the third in Detroit. We'll take you to one where there were nearly 40 arrests.
All right, Guy, but first tied up and held hostage during a standoff. And that's just the beginning of a horrifying ordeal that left 2 children badly injured. And that's exactly what happened to a Detroit family early this morning.
And then the robbers set the home on fire in an attempt to get away. Nick Monticelli talked to the man who was tied up, and he's got the latest on where the investigation is. Nick?
You wouldn't ever in your life want to go through what I went through last night.
Marcus Robinson says it better than any of us could. What happened here in the 700 block of Connor early this morning is disturbing. Armed robbers knocked on Robinson's door, used a friend's name, and then forced their way inside.
The guy was moving close to him and pushed him in the house. Once Marcus said, "I don't have nothing," I knew they was getting robbed.
Betty Austin lives on the first floor of this duplex. Upstairs is Marcus, Austin's sister Precious, and her 2 children, Ronald and Reagan. Once inside, the armed robbers tied Marcus up, holding the family hostage. Betty and her boyfriend called 911, and police were there quickly.
I guess the guys was trying to get down the back stairwell, trying to run back out the house because they seen the police in the front. And when her sister Precious seen that they was trying to run, she unhooked Marcus and ran downstairs.
She's trying to untie my hands, you know what I'm saying, because they tied to my neck. And in the process, I just happened to bend the corner to look down the stairs and seen the police officer. And he told us, just come on, come now. And we got to get the kids. He like, no, just come now.
Unfortunately, leaving 4-year-old Ronald and 2-year-old Reagan behind. The SWAT team showed up, and one of the robbers used Reagan as a shield. Shots were fired, but no one was hit. Realizing they were now surrounded by police officers, police believe the robbers intentionally set this house on fire with the kids inside, destroying the home. A firefighter rescued the kids. Reagan is in critical condition. Ronald is unstable.
They could have did whatever they wanted to me, but all I was thinking about my kids and my girl.
On Detroit's East Side, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Right now, police are still searching for that second suspect. Now, breaking news just into our newsroom from Detroit. Police want to know if you know this man. Police believe that he may have witnessed Officer Colin Rose's killing last Tuesday night. It happened in the area of Lincoln and Brainerd in Midtown. If you know who this might be, you're urged to contact police or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Now, in the meantime, the tributes to Officer Rose continue to pour in. Jermont Terry will have a live report coming up on that at 5:30.
Well, take a look at this video from Trenton this afternoon. Flames raging inside this strip mall. Multiple businesses completely destroyed, and one of them, a small family tailor, is left having to start all over again. Priya Mann spoke to them as they come to grips with the fact that all their hard work is gone.
A strip mall fire in Trenton destroyed 2 family-owned businesses, and the owners say they've been left with nothing.
Everything is torn apart.
Her family owns Violetta's Tailoring, and they were at work early Tuesday morning when she first noticed the smoke.
It didn't start as a big fire. It was just smoke, and we didn't think it was going to be a big deal.
Both businesses were owned by families that immigrated from Albania. They were living the American dream, but years of hard work was reduced to this.
We started from zero, and we are here now, and then we are starting from zero again.
Breaks my heart because you go in there and you feel like family. You know, it's just a great place. Everybody knows everybody.
The fire broke out around 10 Tuesday morning as crews were repairing the roof. They were using propane torches to bend metal and tar around the edges of the roof. Workers say they saw smoke coming from a vent above the herb garden, which had not yet opened. Neighbors and owners watched in stunned disbelief.
Oh, they were tall flames. It just shot out. It started smoking at first and then just shot out. I mean, the whole top of the roof.
The strip mall at Fort King sits next to a fire station. The Trenton fire chief says those firefighters were at another scene when the fire started.
What to do next and how to build another business now, because we have a lot of customers.
And the owner of the strip mall says he is determined to rebuild. Now, while there were people working inside of that strip mall and on the roof, nobody was injured or trapped inside the building. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but is not considered suspicious. Reporting live, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, Priya. Well, today in cities across the country and right here in Detroit, some Americans are seeking a 2/3 increase in the minimum wage to $15 an hour.
One of those protests is happening right now in Detroit's west side, and Guy Gordon is there at the McDonald's on Plymouth Road. Guy, one of 3 local protests being held today.
This is a nationwide protest, Devin and Kimberly, and as you can see, they have now, it appears they've successfully shut down this McDonald's. You can't get in or out of it right now. They were trying to disrupt traffic, but now their leadership has asked them to step out of Plymouth Road. We should tell you that this has been a highly effective protest in the past. They claim that they've gotten that $15 minimum wage for 22 million Americans, but they do understand that here in Michigan, they're swimming against the prevailing political current.
If we don't get it, if we don't get it.
They did not shut down this McDonald's, but did manage to blockade the drive-thru at Grand River and Schaefer. Many brought their children in the pre-dawn hours. They work in fast food, child care, home care, and say they're struggling on today's minimum wage. Dominique Mobley makes $8.50 an hour at McDonald's.
A billion, multi-billion company, and they can afford to pay us to help us support our families.
From the drive-thru back to Grand River, where 39 of the estimated 300 protesters staged a sit-in.
If you continue to block traffic, it will result in disorderly conduct arrests.
All were arrested without incident. With Republican control of Congress and the Michigan legislature, they acknowledge chances of success are slim for now.
We're going to continue to fight and demonstrate, mobilize until we get 15 in the union here, just like in New York, just like California, Oakland, Seattle, and everywhere else.
Employers warn boosting the minimum wage so high, so fast could backfire, leading to price inflation, more automation, and while it may help push some out of poverty, leave 500,000 others out of a job, according to the Congressional Budget Office.
It could be a pretty dramatic impact on the small employers who couldn't absorb that increase, would not be able to hire, and probably have to let a few people go.
And employers say that many of these businesses are not multi-million, billion-dollar corporations like McDonald's, that they are franchises that are small business owned and can't afford this kind of a rate hike. By the way, that $500,000 job loss figure was based on a $12 minimum wage, not $15, so it could even have a higher impact. These folks say they're not just for the minimum wage, they are also against deportation of immigrants and gutting workers' health care, and they promise that they will continue this quest until they get what they want. We're live from the West Side. I'm Guy Gordon, Local 4. Devin and Kimberly, back to you.
You're really loud behind you there right now. All right, Guy.
All right, new developments in the Ohio State University attack that happened yesterday in Columbus. Authorities believe the suspected attacker, Abdul Ali Artan, was inspired by terrorist propaganda from ISIS. Sources point to Facebook postings Artan made Monday, which referenced a leader of al-Qaeda in Yemen, as well as a style of attack encouraged by ISIS in a recent online magazine. Right now, evidence points to a lone wolf attack. Now to a story that continues to develop out of Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Yeah, wildfires bearing down and destroying huge parts of a very popular tourist area. Let's bring in Ben for an update. Ben?
This story's only getting worse, not better, and it looks like 3 people have now been killed. Thousands of people are evacuated from their homes after fast-moving wildfires swept in through the resort communities of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge overnight. Hardest hit is Gatlinburg, where hundreds of buildings were damaged or destroyed, and the mayor says half the town is impacted.
The scene in and around Gatlinburg, Tennessee is utter devastation. Hundreds of homes and businesses damaged or destroyed by a fast-moving wildfire that erupted overnight into an inferno.
This is a fire for the history books because it is unlike anything most have ever seen.
Several wildfires in East Tennessee, fueled by high winds and dry brush, raged out of control and quickly spread. Wind gusts reaching 87 miles per hour.
That is hurricane force. That is nowhere to be when trying to fight a fire.
Flames came dangerously close to a Hilton hotel, temporarily trapping terrified guests. Overall, 14,000 people were evacuated in Gatlinburg.
I'm glad they did when they did, because them flames were right up on us and we didn't even know it.
We couldn't even see them. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have gotten out at all.
Some evacuees made it out on their own, driving through roads choked by smoke and flames. Others were escorted out on foot by Tennessee state troopers after downed trees blocked roads. Homes and businesses lost, lives altered forever.
To see that disappear at what may appear to be of a blink of an eye, it does touch your heart.
Gatlinburg and surrounding Sevier County suddenly changed overnight, but they're vowing to rebuild.
Does look like there may be some relief in the forecast, but this is how we got to where we are now. These places 7, 8, 10 inches below average in rainfall, and that is just since September. But you look at what's coming on the way, it looks like there will get 1 to 2 inches of rain, and in some cases maybe more than 2 closer to Knoxville there in Sevier County. And then once we get into the later parts of the weekend and early next week, it looks like they could get another round of rain as well. Guys?
You've been through the smoke. It's hard to imagine 87-mile-an-hour winds there.
Exactly. And then we're not talking about the West Coast. This is,
right.
You don't usually hear about
exactly
it
right,
there. So.
Jason Colthorpe live now with a look at what's ahead tonight. Jason?
Guys, a candlelight vigil just underway tonight on Detroit's west side, where just 4 days ago a teenager was murdered. We'll tell you why tensions could be running as high as the emotions here coming up.
Okay, Jason, and the man accused of spray painting threats against Detroit's top cop appears in court, but something wasn't right. The bizarre thing his attorneys did right before the hearing got underway. Karen?
Well, yesterday, someone tried to kidnap and sexually assault a 16-year-old girl. She got away. Coming up next, what you and your children need to know to protect yourselves and help with a fast escape.
People are new at 6.
Former Inkster police officer William Melendez says he wants to be home by Christmas, asking the parole board to let him out, saying he doesn't know why he beat motorist Floyd Dent.
All right, Kevin, also our first look at the Detroit mother charged with assaulting her own daughter over a love letter she found in their home. That's coming up at 6, but first now to a Defender special report. Police in St. Clair Shores still looking for leads in a horrifying attempted abduction of a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah, this is a sketch of who police are looking for in connection to that attack, and it is this incident that's raising an important question. What should you do if you end up in a similar situation?
Defender Karen True talked with the experts. These are some pretty simple but potentially life-saving topics here.
Devin and Kimberly, this conversation needs to be had at the dinner table. It is scary, but it is important to think about this now. What would you do if someone tried to attack? And does your child know what to do?
If you strike, just remember 2 or 3 times, strike.
Darcy Lutzinger is a veteran police officer and owner of Shotacon 911, a private safety company.
The most important thing is to keep your head up. Be aware of your surroundings. We say keep your head on a swivel. Always be looking around. If they can find one other person to walk with them, it reduces your chance of attack by over 80%.
Children are most vulnerable when they're walking alone and distracted, maybe listening to music or talking on a cell phone.
If you're talking on the phone, you're distracted. You can't hear the vehicle coming up to you.
No! 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 Children practicing, screaming, kicking, and biting with enthusiasm. But he stresses children should only fight to get away.
We're looking then not to disable a assailant. We're just looking for them to buy them 2 or 3 seconds so they can run away as fast as they can and create as much noise as they can.
Meantime, on this day over at Krav Maga Detroit, the kids are training with their backpacks, learning how to react if something happens while walking to or from school.
If I grab this, see, he's coming with me.
And we can apply what we teach our kids to our own lives. Remember, our busy routines, a cell phone call or text, even a conversation can make us an immediate target.
Bad guys always scope.
All right, so some basic advice from the experts. Don't talk to strangers. Trust your gut with people you don't know, and make sure to keep a safe distance. For adults, consider carrying pepper spray. Experts say you should use your purse or your wallet if you're ever attacked. Throw it away from you, and it might divert an attacker's attention. They'll go after your money instead of you, or you can also use it as a weapon. So some things definitely to think about and to consider with your family, but you have to have these conversations now.
Absolutely. A conversation, like you said, should be had at the dinner table tonight. All right. Karen, we appreciate it. There were people on the golf course today.
Oh, yeah. There were shirt sleeves. I mean, crazy. we're a few days from December.
Crazy, but we'll take it.
It was pretty nice.
Yeah, we were close to 60 degrees this afternoon with the sunshine. I mean, the only thing bad you could say is it was a little windy.
Okay.
But
we were talking about 87-mile-an-hour winds in Tennessee earlier. It was not windy.
That is true. That is true. We're definitely on the better end of that deal. And when you look at the satellite image, this is what we call the water vapor, which is the mid-level stuff. And that's where you can see the circulation. The reason we're showing this to you is because there is one feature that is influencing the weather in all 48 states. And it's this swirl right here in the northern plain states. In fact, when we put the lines on there, it's very easy to tell this low is what's responsible for bringing that moisture into Tennessee, which is going to help with those wildfires. It's also going to be bringing us some cooler weather as we get into the next couple days. Right now outside, apparently it's really dark. 53 is where we're at right now. This was going to be a shot of downtown. I don't know why we're not seeing it. 7-mile-an-hour winds is what we're seeing out there as we speak. Behind those 50s, though, that's where those temperatures really starting to cool down on the other side of the lake. 47 Green Bay. Minneapolis is at 37, below freezing in Bismarck. We're going to see temperatures at least closer to average for this time of year. But for the last 2 days in November, it is going to feel well above average. So the mild temperatures will continue through tonight. In fact, our low is actually going to be warmer than our average high for the day. Cold front sweeps through. We're looking at some showers tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. But with that cold air as we get into Thursday, we're talking a wintry mix of some showers and a couple snowflakes mixed in. So there's the low temperature tonight, 48 degrees, a stray shower possible as we start seeing some of those clouds and moisture coming in from the south and west. Your 4-zone forecast, metro high temperatures tomorrow, 55 degrees is what we're looking at, just slightly below what we saw this afternoon. Numbers cooler out here in Lenawee County. You'll see 52 in Morenci and Onstead and closer to the mid-50s near Lake Erie tomorrow afternoon. West zone temperatures, low 50s, and in fact, just about 51, 52 is just about what we're going to see in the west and north zone for high temperatures tomorrow. Going through the next 7 days, it starts to look a little bit more like December when we get there towards the end of the week. 43 on Thursday, 43 on Friday. Morning lows start going back below freezing for this time of year. So once we get this pesky precipitation out of the way here in the later part of this week, the weekend's looking dry. We'll get some sunshine back. So all in all, not too bad.
We really have been fortunate. I mean, we've had a great...
It's kind of crazy. Really,
let's hope the paybacks don't come when winter actually shows up.
That's what I was going to say. What does this mean?
Never works like that.
I believe the Almanac has its own theory about a very bad winter.
They've said some things.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Let's go over to Dr. Frank McGeorge. Doc?
Well, she's the local woman undergoing similar cancer treatment to President Jimmy Carter. What happened today that she says shows this new approach is really treating her cancer.
All right, Frank, but first, a true fairy tale season ends in a horrendous tragedy. New tonight, what we're learning about the plane crash that had a Brazilian soccer team on board.
A tragedy in Colombia as 75 people were killed in a plane crash involving a Brazilian soccer team.
The plane was flying from Bolivia to Colombia last night when the crew declared an emergency around 10 p.m. and moments later the plane crashed into the side of a mountain 22 miles from its landing point. 6 people did survive the crash, including 2 members, 1 journalist and 3 players on the team. The team was in the middle of its best ever soccer season, and tonight its fans, of course, are heartbroken.
Sad.
The man accused of spray painting threats to Detroit Police Chief James Craig on a building is now without legal representation.
That's because today both of Stuart Lewis's attorneys quit.
Your Honor, at this point, I don't feel, and I believe I can speak for Ms. Curry, that we can move forward in this case.
They never came to me or answered the phone. No time. So this led me to believe that I was just swimming out there by myself.
Now, Lewis's defense attorney cited a breakdown in communication. A preliminary exam for him has been rescheduled for December 13th. He's charged with threat to terrorism. Well, this week marks the 50th anniversary of the deadly sinking of the SS Daniel J. Morrell.
Ship was named after a congressman from Pennsylvania. The massive freighter went down in Lake Huron after a violent storm split the ship in 2. 28 crew members died. 1 man survived it. In fact, he died just last year in Ohio at the age of 75. The Morrell was built in 1906 in Bay City. It made more than 2,000 trips on the Great Lakes.
And there are all sorts of presentations and ceremonies to commemorate that are happening. We've got that information on clickondetroit.com too, if you'd like to know.
And so many of these shipwrecks over the years in the Great Lakes have swirled around these couple of weeks in November. Really extraordinary. Back with more in just a minute, Guy.
New at 5:30.
Dan Gilbert announcing a $100 million project to restore the old and build the new. We're not talking office, residential, including homes for one of the most overlooked segments of our population.
A week ago tonight, Wayne State Officer Colin Rose died in the line of duty. Tonight, the stage is set as this campus prepares to honor a man who paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Guys, you're looking at a vigil happening right now that almost didn't happen, but thanks to an arrest made today, the shocking history of the man accused of killing his own nephew over a plate of food coming up.
Watch me. Live from downtown Detroit. Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
A big break in the case. A days-long manhunt comes to an end. An uncle now in police custody in connection to the deadly shooting of his nephew. That man, James Graham, had been hiding from police since Friday after both his family and police say he fatally shot his nephew during an argument.
Freeland Pridgeon was just 16 years old. Tonight, his family is coming together to honor his memory. And Jason Colthorpe is at the home on Ward Avenue where the shooting occurred. Jason?
Yeah, Devin, this is where it happened, and right now this vigil is underway, and I just want to walk you through what you're seeing here. A lot of family and friends talking about Freeland, praying. They'll be singing, and of course they've lit those candles. And I just want to give you a little background on the balloons that are being set free right now. Purple and pink. Purple is for lupus, which Freeland had a loved one that he cared for, but he always wore pink by mistake, so it kind of became a joke where everyone would wear pink knowing they meant purple. Now, of course, all this happening after he was tragically gunned down by police say his own uncle, and today, the day he was caught, we're learning more about his shocking criminal history.
He just turned 16. He didn't get to live his life.
Freeland Pridgeon was an old soul, more mature than his 16 years. He set the example. He was the one family turned to when help was needed.
And at 16 years old, if there was any way that he could fix it or bring some type of ease or help you get through it or whatever it was, you know, even if it was something that out of his control, he would.
We just had beautiful family time together, starting the day before Thanksgiving. My daughter got married, and Freeland set up the decorations. He took the pictures. And
it was his love for family that took him to his Nana's house the day after Thanksgiving. That's when an argument over food with his father's uncle quickly escalated, and families still can't understand.
His own uncle shot him. He did not deserve this, and we want justice served.
Police say 48-year-old James Graham shot Freeland in the head and then disappeared until he was caught today during a traffic stop. Graham, who hasn't been charged yet, served almost 7 years in prison for a very violent crime in 2001.
That man should have never even been free after what he did to the mother of his children for setting her on fire.
I don't think he deserved to be free because I can never, ever get my grandson back.
Just to give you an idea, guys, how much Freeland meant to people he hadn't even met. One of his family members who goes to Lance Cruz, that whole school going to wear pink in his honor the day that he's laid to rest. That day has not yet been set. We're on the west side tonight. Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
And Jason, the uncle had been released from prison, correct?
Yes, he was. He was released in 2008. Court records we dug up today show that he was convicted in 2001. There was a long list of charges as well, including assault with intent to do great bodily harm. He did less than 7 years on a stretch that could have gone up to 15 and a half, and he was paroled. Now, we did check with prosecutors. They couldn't comment on the exact nature of what transpired in that crime other than the charges. Detroit police records weren't readily available back in 2001. Devin.
All right, Jason. Karen.
Well, 7 days ago, at this very moment, Wayne State Police Officer Colin Rose was out doing patrol, doing a job he loved, but in an instant, his life was lost after being fatally shot while investigating a string of car break-ins. Since that moment, not just Detroiters, but the entire region has come together to support his family, and that continues into tonight. Jermont Terry is live this evening as the vigil is set to be held at a very special time. Jermont?
Karen, this entire community will gather. They're expecting a large crowd. You can see here that they're preparing for candles to be lit around 6:15. But if we pan back to the right, the stage is set for a moment of silence that will take place at exactly 6:30. That's the exact time last week when Officer Colin Rose was shot. Now, at the same time, just a few blocks away, this same community is coming together to help out Officer Rose's fiancée. A week ago, Officer Colin Rose and his fiancée were making plans to buy a house and finalizing their wedding. But now his fiancée is dealing with this untimely death.
Has been so incredibly strong, and Colin would have been so proud. She's holding up, as can be expected, but her strength this week has been incredible.
Officer Rose was active in the nonprofit agency Detroit Dog Rescue. His fiancée works there.
She has said several times that she thanks everybody in the community for their support.
The executive director helped organize this fundraiser where people are donating cash, but also auctioning off items like this signed Kenny Chesney guitar to help financial need.
Her and Colin were in the process of leaving a home and buying another home. She has to be out of their current home in 2 weeks. They still did not buy another home yet, so her place of living is kind of in limbo. And we don't want her to have to worry about that. We literally want to buy her some time to grieve.
And while people are doing what they can to help, Detroit police releasing new video of a man they believe can help build their case. New video shows a possible witness to the shooting. This man is believed to have been walking in the direction when he heard and witnessed the crime. He can be seen running in the opposite direction. Now, police say if you recognize that individual, you should call them because they want to talk to that witness. But back live here on campus, you can see that they're expecting a couple of hundred people to come out for this vigil, again, which takes place at 6:15. That moment of silence happening exactly at 6:30, the exact time that Officer Rose was shot last week. And we should point out that fundraiser is taking place for his fiancée just a few blocks away. It's going to run until 10 o'clock at Tony V's right down the street on Cass. Reporting live from Wayne State's campus tonight, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
A very difficult day for the department and the city. All right, thank you, Jermont. The search is on right now for the person responsible for a BB gun drive-by that's left thousands of dollars in damage. It happened the day after Thanksgiving in the town of Melvin in Sanilac County. Deputies came out after reports of windows in 4 homes and 2 businesses along Galbraith Line Road being broken. No arrests have been made. If you happen to have any information, please call the Sanilac County Sheriff's Office.
2 well-known names have now been added to Team Trump. The president-elect named Georgia Congressman Tom Price as his Health and Human Services Secretary, and former Labor Secretary Elaine Chao expected to take over at the Department of Transportation. But that news is competing with a new tweet controversy from the next president. Brian Moore has the latest from Washington. Brian?
Yeah, thanks, Devin. As a candidate, Donald Trump promised to drain the swamp, but he's just added 2 more veteran Washington insiders to his team. If there was any question about President-elect Trump's determination to dismantle Obamacare, his answer is the appointment of Georgia Congressman Tom Price as Secretary of Health and Human Services. A third-generation doctor, Price is an outspoken opponent of Obamacare at the forefront of the Republican repeal and replace movement. He is also an advocate of privatizing Medicare and paring back Medicaid to block grants, changes that could affect a third of the U.S. population. Democrats are promising a fight.
We say to our Republicans who want to privatize Medicare, go try it. Make our day.
The president-elect has also reportedly tapped former Labor Secretary Elaine Chao as Transportation Secretary. Her husband, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, clearly has her support.
Let me be quite clear, I will not be recusing myself.
Meanwhile, the president-elect has touched off another Twitter controversy, declaring anyone who burns an American flag should face consequences, perhaps loss of citizenship or a year in jail. Not all Republicans agree.
In this country, we have a long tradition of respecting unpleasant speech. I happen to support the Supreme Court's decision on that matter.
A court that included the late Justice Antonin Scalia, who voted twice to uphold the right to burn American flags in protest. Not only has the High Court protected flag burning, it's also ruled that American citizenship can only be given up voluntarily. In Washington, Brian Moore, Local 4.
Okay, Brian. Meanwhile, an official petition requesting a recount of the vote here in Michigan has not yet been submitted. The Green Party candidate Jill Stein has said that it is coming, but we still have no word on exactly when that will happen. A Detroit neighborhood left to rot for decades is bouncing back today and in a very big way.
Just a few years ago, Brush Park was a mess. Well, now it looks like this, about to be, I should say. 410 brand new residents at a range of prices in different age groups. Guy Gordon was at today's groundbreaking.
The City Modern concept is that you restore the grandeur of the past and then fill in the blanks with the promise of the future.
Restoration will begin on 3 historic homes next spring, offering 7 units in those classic Victorian mansions. 4 different contemporary styles will bridge the past and present, and 20% of the 303 rental units are designated low income, with 1-bedroom apartments as low as $700 a month for qualifying applicants. Mona Ross Gardner grew up here and appreciates neighborhood input was considered.
Incredible. They've worked directly with the community and asked about their concerns. They've met with us on many occasions.
This is the largest single-family residential neighborhood to be built in Detroit since you fill in the blank, because I couldn't find out.
On this site, 54 units of housing for seniors, an underserved group, according to Mayor Duggan.
Now we can have our seniors move into the heart of a recovering downtown district and be in the center of all the action. It's the kind of respect they deserve.
20 buildings in all, most with private or semi-private rooftop terraces and green spaces. Throughout the development, nicely landscaped pocket parks, all connected with pathways.
Progress, a future for my children, my grandchildren, and everyone else's that's down here. That's what I see it.
This complex is just 1 block away from the Q line, meaning that the residents here are no more than 10 minutes away from all the amenities of the Midtown area and the Central Business District, meaning that City Modern is truly a vision of what this modern city could be. From Brush Park, I'm Guy Gordon, Local 4.
Right on top of the new arena, practically, too.
My
It's going to be a
goodness,
hopping
prime
area
real
there.
estate.
Yeah. Speaking of the new arena, former Red Wing fired as head coach of the Florida Panthers, but that's not the whole story.
New tonight is what the team forced Gerard Gallant to do after they let him go. We'll show you ahead.
And Lifetime Fitness forced to pay up what the company didn't do that is now leading to a surprise for thousands of the company's workers. Doc?
Well, she's a local woman undergoing a similar cancer treatment to President Jimmy Carter. The milestone she hit today that she says is showing the treatment is really working. That's next.
On Jeff. New at 6.
You may have driven by this building 100 times and not know that there are big military secrets here.
We get the feeling it's just the tip of the iceberg.
But bigger still are the business opportunities, and the state of Michigan is working on that. We'll have the story ahead.
This is the season of giving, and there's nothing quite like seeing a child's face light up with a gift from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We'll tell you how Meijer is helping kids in need.
Now, to good health, in many cases, cancer might not be curable. But what if it was manageable long term?
And Dr. McGeorge is here with a remarkable milestone a local woman marked today in controlling her cancer and giving hope to others who are really facing some impossible odds.
That's right, Karen and Devin. You know, Linda Dreyer was told she only had months to live after an exhausting 3-year battle against a rare type of bladder cancer. Now, that was 2 years ago, before she was enrolled in a clinical trial at Henry Ford Hospital using a new drug to help her own immune system fight back.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, thank you so much.
Today was a remarkable birthday for 68-year-old Linda Dreyer of Westland. She's been part of a clinical trial evaluating the cancer immunotherapy drug Avlumab. It's similar to the drug used to successfully treat President Jimmy Carter's metastatic melanoma.
From the first CT scan, it was obvious that the tumors were responding. They just kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and then I had my birthday last year.
Now, after 107 treatments, one every other week.
Here I am again. Another birthday, another Christmas. I just can't believe it.
Dr. Ding Wang is Linda's oncologist at Henry Ford Hospital and a researcher studying these new agents.
This is going to be an important part of the future cancer treatment.
Avlumab might work against many different cancers.
Non-small cell lung cancer, kidney cancer, urinary bladder cancer, head and neck cancer.
Linda's cancer is not gone, but it's being managed, and she's doing very well.
I don't feel like I have cancer anymore. You live with it, you have it, you take your meds, and you don't die.
Making the most out of every day.
And I cherish my grandchildren, my children, and my friends.
Now, there are different immunotherapy agents that target different things, but using newer precision medicine techniques, looking at the unique composition of a person's cancer, it is possible to tailor treatment and predict how well somebody's going to respond. Now, incidentally, in addition to quantity of life, Linda's quality of life has been exceptional with almost no side effects on this new medication.
That's very
groundbreaking, and as is the case with groundbreaking medications, they're often very expensive early, but when you told me how much this one is, this is breathtaking.
Yeah, well, the immunotherapies in general are very expensive. This is $7,000 a dose, and so we're talking long-term care, hundreds of doses potentially. So yeah, this is something that as a society we're probably going to need to grapple with, because of course if it's a short-term thing, costs are limited, but long-term we're talking about enormous costs. So either the drug prices are going to have to drop, or we're going to have to figure out some way to pay for it.
And a dose is one every 2 weeks?
One every 2 weeks in this particular case.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
all right, thanks, Doc. Well, Gerard Gallant, who played over 600 games for the Red Wings during the 80s and 90s, was fired as head coach of the Florida Panthers Sunday night.
The team cited their inconsistent play as the reason for the firing, but it appears they may have felt even colder than that toward Gallant, maybe than originally thought. After the team's 3-2 loss to Carolina on Sunday, the team fired him and left him at the arena. As the team bus drove off, there you see, he was forced to find a cab. Actually had to wait for a cab and find his own way home.